or interesting?
Well, we don't actually talk. We have soundboards.
Yes, he's a robot. Well, Kix is, but that's already known. Let's take a look at our map veto. Put it up on the table here, and Coast plus Clubhouse have been eliminated. Of course, these
Cafe is still available.
That's correct.
I don't know. I'm always excited to see Cafe at
It's
the
a
moment.
great map.
So, and it's the last to be banned, though. Consulate, though, a good map also for these teams. I mean, it's a good map for EU in general.
Yeah, it was very biased of you, but sure.
It just has been. It has been. I mean, compared to some of the other regions, I feel like Consulate has been a strong EU map for quite some time.
Yeah, we're used to the visas at this point.
You certainly are.
Community vote, what do you guys think about this? I think this should be a popularity contest that Vitality will win, but wow, okay. I think
that was closer than I expected.
At this point, it's not the popularity that wins it out.
No. Well, Chaos have been really showing up, though. And I mean, after beating G2 as well, I'm sure gained some fans from that.
Yeah.
And the Vegas Minor, I think, was a really good showing from them. So overall, I'm having more faith in Chaos than I used to.
End of Season 9, the beginning performance of Season 9 and the end of it definitely put a lot of faith in Chaos. In between, it's kind of hit or miss. But from end of Season 9 to the Vegas Minor to their place so far against Le Stream and G2 and even Empire, it really puts a lot of faith into Chaos. But both of these teams will be playing at DreamHack Valencia next week, so we get to see them on LAN.
Oh, saving strats then?
Yeah, and playing on LAN, especially when there's a spot at the Raleigh Major, that's something that you really need to be looking out for. So, no holds barred next week. I wonder what will be brought up. Vitality to ban Dokebi makes a lot of sense. When you are playing against Red Groove and Chaos is starting on attack, and this is Consulate, just take it out of the equation.
Yeah, just get it out of there. So it's like same with banning shields against Chaos too. Nomad gonna go again?
Makes a lot of sense for Chaos to be doing that. They will rely heavily on their flank play, as we've seen them do in the past. This defense ban from Chaos will be Mira. No, it'll be Valkyrie. Oh boy, that's a pretty interesting
That used to be a pretty common ban for this map.
Yeah, so you might not need the IQ, because if I know Vitality well, it'll be Echo banned at the end.
Or Mira, one of the two, pretty much.
One of them. Get out of here. Okay, I quit.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll get a sub in here too.
At this point, you can really bring anybody from the office, and it'll be the same thing.
There's a zoo nearby. I'll find a monkey.
Wow. Actually, that sounded like there is a zoo like a 10-minute drive away from here. It's Katowice Zoo.
That's what I'm saying.
Śląski Park. It's a very nice park, by the way. I recommend anybody that comes to Katowice for some odd reason, you might want to go to that park.
Well, maybe it'll be a future Siege map.
Park? It's literally just trees.
Garage is going to be the bomb site here to start with, which is a bit different than when we saw console heavy defenses first in the last matchup that we saw in here. And it's a clash going to come out from Vitality of all people. I feel like that's something that Chaos would generally play a lot more.
Yep.
But who knows? They're not on defense yet. They entirely might, yeah.
Give Chaos any shield and they will be happy.
Yeah. Lion going to come out, though, with the 6th pick. Capitao finally not banned. He's going to get played. We always talked about how important he was on Yellow Stairs. I'm sure that's going to be the case here. So, got to imagine that Jaeger ADS is going to try and do what it can, but you cannot stop the crossbow bolts. So, always important the timing there. Maybe we'll even see the Clash playing on Yellow Stairs just to try and deny it a little bit more, just because you can pull yourself back away from the Capitao firebolts with less risk in being shot doing so.
I'm curious to see how the Capitao will be used in here. Of course, one of the positives that we get from playing the same map twice in one playday is that we get to see different operators that were not banned put out. So we get to see and compare what the Capitao would usually be doing, just for people that might not always be familiar with it. I know there's always new people that come in and watch Pro League and are new to it and would like to learn. So I'm very happy that a lot of the content creators around the game are really starting to push Pro League out there, because it really brings everybody together and everybody gets to learn from the best players in the world. I think that's always a positive to look at. I'm very curious about that mute ban as well. It's going to be much more difficult to hold on to the Yellow Stairs and just
It may have also been help for pushing onto bathroom, because the mute's usually a big part of holding that bathroom. Lions being popped out early, though, as they try and put pressure on them, and it's not really actually turning into much. They're not even really getting inside the map much with that, so there might be a little bit of misuse by Crips early on, unless they really feel like, well, never mind. Secretly, he's like, all right.
The site is clear.
Hello.
I think they want to go for it. Mira's been eliminated. The time is now, old man. Secret is in, and Chaos have already opened up the wall. They will go in for the plant. Red Groove finds Bibu, and it's great adaptation from Chaos. Secretly finds another one. Playing downstairs, still in the buck, all the way in the back. Red Groove with one more. It's flawless so far. Squall is the last man alive. He's got everything shut down against them, and the SP SMG might be full auto, but it won't save you. Chaos, beautiful execution. They realize the entire site is wide open for them, and a flawless assault courtesy of Secretly on the buck to 3K to end the round. Bellissimo.
And that's another benefit of the mute being banned, of course, was that drones were able to get a lot more intel on that, to be able to make that kind of decision and go, you know what? We can just execute. But brilliant play by Secretly, who's been such a good buck player for so long. It's not a surprise to see him do well with it, but just completely catching them off guard. The Mira, you know, is going to be focused on the garage because the wall is open, and into just taking full advantage of that and knowing that he can rotate down the spiral stairs. That was the play for sure right there. We'll see them go to lobby this time, though, to try something a little bit different. As I said, Vitality are the team that stick out the most to me is generally rotating sites regardless of win or loss. And so they will continue to do so. Rather than going to top floor, though, going to lobby next is an interesting choice, just because console tends to be the better defensive site. Although with Capitao banned, it is a little bit harder to hold that top of yellow stairs as we were talking about. So the bathroom will be interesting to try and hold here without the mute. And they're not going to go with the mirror for it. The castle is going to be something, try and help slow things down a little bit. I can imagine it might be upstairs as well. Bride just putting one to try and block out the Visa side of things. But it looks like a lot of heavy top floor defense as well. Also trying to stop them from rotating quickly up spiral seems like a smart idea. They didn't bring any soft breach. So this castle actually a pretty good choice in denying a lot of that. He's going to set up a rotation hole as well, make it a little bit harder for them to do any damage to the back of the bathroom. But they don't have the Habana to do that as well if they wanted to try and take out some reinforced barricades from that side. So overall, this is an interesting setup from Vitality that I do like given the current situation. And Chaos aren't necessarily bringing a lot to really counter it. But whether or not it'll work, hard to say until they start to get into the actual building. We saw last time that line kind of helped with the rush part of it, although it wasn't necessarily during the EE1D. It kind of helped establish where people were sitting and helped with Secretly's run-in afterwards. And they're going to be going to put pressure on top of yellow stairs here. I imagine in a second. Looks like no ADS to stop that, but not a great grenade throw.
Well, the Lions saved the game, if there's a way to put it, for G2 in the previous matchup. Here hasn't really had that big of an effect, but Crips, as you mentioned, I mean, it's not just about being able to find kills off of it. Freezing your opponents in place and allowing you to push onto a site is definitely a big positive of why Lion is brought out, and that's really how he's built from the floor up, from the ground up. So now Chaos need to clear up the top floor. Secretly is already inside. The Maestro fires right into him. Does so much damage to Secretly, who just flicks in and around, and it's an equilibrium of damage, but Stiggy turns around with the dock and finds the kill. Qual should be healed up here on the Maestro, and there you go. You hear it. He's back up to full HP.
Yeah, that's definitely not great for Secretly, and his impact pretty much nullified altogether. It's going to be hard to fight that LMG of Maestro, so not a surprise that they were able to kind of win that, although it wasn't Maestro to get the kill. But Vitalin with a kill into Bride. There goes Qual, can take it down and finished off as well. So fighting back here from Chaos, saying, you take our Secretly, we'll take two of your players as well in the trade. Lion helping a little bit with that, but getting peeked against it. Renewal still with all 4 crossbow bolts in his crossbow, though, is not great if he dies. That's a lot of utility loss for this potential push.
Very true. You'll need the Thatcher or the Lion in this position. Even if you bring Vitalian in, he'll be good to go for it. He's already grabbed 1 kill in the round. Stig is all the way in the back by the long desk, but Chaos might just push on the side itself. E1D will get popped here to clear anybody downstairs, and there is indeed one player right behind however you call them at this point. I completely forget. Whatever. Reynolds and Crips will find a kill each, leaving Bibu all on his own as smoke in the bathroom. And I guess you call them pipes, so there you go. I forget words, definitely.
It's okay.
So many of them in my head. Crips will come on in, but there's smoke already popped in his face by the Capitao. Bibu on his own. He can try to stop this. He's got 3 cast canisters to use. He finds one headshot on Crips. Unfortunately, drops on down potential retake. Renewals at least is on the floor. There is the potential for a victory here for Bibu as he walks on out. He's detected, and this might not help out in the retake. Not sure if Renewal... There we go. He is still on the floor. You can see him in piano. Bibu will have to maneuver himself back to the top.
He's basically just a drone at this point to call out.
Gets shot by Redgroove. Well done. Just playing from a bottom here in the lobby by the circle desk, and there's really one of the two positions you can make. If you open up the hatch, you get heard. There's one other hatch that's open, and that's pretty much all you're down to.
Yeah, overall, pretty good attack there by Chaos. I mean, losing secretly early on wasn't great, but the fact they were able to trade it back on 2 already put so much pressure on Team Vitality, who were trying to play 2 floors at once, of course, because that is one of the bomb sites where you definitely have to hold above. And having to fight split like that, losing too many people without trading enough of them back, and Chaos already in a dominant position, definitely not a great start for them. Of course, it's only been 2 rounds, but they're going to go back to Garage, just completely foregoing Console here. And this is a, I don't know, that's a curious decision given how it played out last time. They're going to go with the Mozzie to deny since they don't have the mute instead of the Mira. So just try and stop them from at least getting in as much as they can. Also, I guess one other side effect of the mute ban as well as line is slightly more effective. Not a huge amount though. Bibu and Stiggy, the only ones to find any kills in 2 rounds there. That's 1 kill per round. And that's how you lose. So they're going to have to step it up a bit here to be able to bring this back against Chaos, who, I don't know, they're looking pretty confident despite, you know, occasionally losing a player or 2. They seem to be on top of their intel game as well as good communication. And that's what you need to win, whereas Vitality are getting into a lot of 1v1s without significant trades coming out. And it's just, they're going to need to step up that coordination. And I hope Stiggy being on the team isn't kind of throwing a monkey wrench in that coordination there that we have. So it's unfortunate that they ended up with not having Sneaky at this moment.
Well, there were talks last week that Sneaky was just away and he wasn't always able to play with Vitality. But now I think the conversation is more towards Sneaky not playing anymore. That's still to be verified though, but Sneaky coming in here, it's definitely questions to be raised. So I've heard some rumors, some ideas being thrown today in Twitch chat and foreign conversation, so.
Way to say a lot of nothing right there. I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about at this point.
There's potential. Okay.
There's potential for something to be true about something about someone.
Because I haven't really read into the French scene and what's been happening right now. So people that are more familiar with the scene were telling me that, yeah, it's apparently actually happening. So.
Interesting. Yeah, well, we'll see how that develops, though. I mean, this is a tryout for Stiggy, so he's going to have to step up his performance if he wants to be on a Pro League team here. But the whole team is the one losing. It's not necessarily on his back alone. Cripps has used 1 EE, 1D already, just in the first minute. And Bibu to get the kill again on Secretly, the first to die for Chaos.
So much damage done to the Mozzie, and Vidlin is waiting for information to crack open the entry here into the garage. Redgroove will be priming an EMP in just a moment. Oh, he misses the shot right at the edge, and wall will be opened up. So Qual not available here for the setup. Thermite staying outside as he waits. The second E1D will get used up here. As you'll see, Cripps penetrate the top line of defense. Bibu for another run out, and that's 2 kills for him. Renaults and Secretly, the OGs of the squad, are not down and dead.
That's a lot of utility loss. Grenades, I imagine, probably didn't get used by Secretly, at least not both of them. The Capital fire bolts and smoke bolts also going to be lost. They don't really have a lot for the plant outside of 1 EE, 1D left. This looks like likely to be around for Vitality. Even the goo mine doing some damage here to Cripps. So Vidalin going to have to try and make something happen here. Flash, they both have flashes, and that could definitely help a little bit, whereas no extra utility here from Redgroove as he's already set his Claymore, which unfortunately didn't stop Bibu. Good kill there by Redgroove, though, a little bit with the help of the Lion. But he's already in sight, and unfortunately, he's not the one carrying the diffuser. Vidalin tries to get some work done, though, onto Qual, and Bride trades it back onto Cripps.
Oh, they all line up. Bibu will find 2 more kills at the end of the round, and that's 4 for him. They all dive on in, and look at them, both lining up perfectly for the Mozzie. Very well done.
Definitely this round.
Yep, they secure a round, a very effective one. All Bibu.
all runouts all day, and this is definitely a much better position to be in because you won somewhat off of just taking advantage of their oversights, and that really takes down your confidence a peg. You know, they looked very confident those first 2 rounds, then getting kind of run out on in positions where you're just kind of doing your thing. It just makes you start to question the small things, and I feel like that always helps when you're a defender, is to keep them questioning things, because the more they question stuff, the less confidence they have, the less they can push quickly, and the more they start delaying. So those kinds of things help. I mean, I don't know. Psychology stuff is always going to be a little bit theoretical, and it's not going to affect everyone the same way. But it is stuff, you know, at the end of the day that does affect some players. Bibu there bringing it all the way up to 5 kills, 2 for the other 2 players on his team, 1 each. So not a ton of kills, but Bibu definitely made up for quite a bit that last round. We're going to see Siggy on the pulse this time. No real changes here for Chaos's lineup. But finally, Console going to come out now that they've won a defense on Garage and decided lobby wasn't so great. Although I got to imagine they're going to end up back lobby again before the defense is done, probably. Hard to say. But we're going to have the old mirror defense of admin, it looks like. As Brede is setting that up right now. Whether he's going to be playing it or not, he's definitely setting it up. It might be Spark to be the one to play it, as sometimes it helps to have the Bandit play it so he can kind of trick it if he needs to, as they have a Thatcher. However, they didn't bring a Hibana. Hibana not being banned has yet to be brought by Chaos. Yep. Just doesn't seem to be part of their plan. Because, of course, you do want to bring a Thermite in case it's Garage. But seeing as they just won that, you don't really necessarily need to bring the Thermite.
Maybe Chaos are looking more towards Yellow Stairs, right? They have the Capitao, so...
Still, though, that's such a old plant that rarely is done anymore that I think Hibana is a much better choice when you know you're not attacking Garage.
Vitality are just roaming downstairs so heavily here in the Garage and the basement in general. Chaos just recognizing it and instantly diving on through it. The beginning of the round. The Capitao is in. Renewals knows that there's a player downstairs. Drone will be thrown in and immediately shot.
Renewals keeps playing this the same way. Honestly, would like to see maybe this Bibu just peeking that corner of the skylight prior to Capitao showing up, because I feel like it's an easy tap on his face because he's not prepared for it at this point. He seems to just kind of propel up right into a peak. Nice try and flank by secretly pushing off. That's what you need to do, but Vitalik as the one to get the pickup.
Spark runs out and get instantly tapped and taken away, but Bibu will find Vitalik. So eliminating the Thermite, which might not have been the biggest operator for this offense if it does come down to a push from Yellow.
Not necessary for an attack here. Diffuser down though, and that's the big deal, is he was the diffuse carrier. Now they have to pick that up, so there's some advantage over to Vitality in terms of being able to at least anticipate some movement. Not to mention, they have yet to clear out Yellow Stairs, because Secretly's attempt at trying to get a kill onto Bibu on the rotate in combination with Capitao did not work out. And now he is out of those firebolts, so he's just going to have to smoke instead, but no, he thinks better of it. Secretly, though, still has 2 grenades left. If they can clear those ADSs, he might be able to get a grenade in the right position. Combined with Renewal's play here, they didn't clear them out properly. Cripps could have been the one to do that, as I imagine he still has flashes, but he is too busy inside the building looking for anyone he can find.
Oh, Cripps. He's got all those chips in his hands. He'll try to come in from behind. A thing that Chaos really can be happy with right now, specifically Cripps, is that there's no Legion on the board for Vitality. Cripps will come in and make a lot of noise from the back. And the Maestro of Qual peeks around and finds an easy kill. Cripps is now down. The entire flank is done and dusted. Chaos with 3 left. And they don't have much in the way of utility left with that Capitao. At least the 2 main crossbow bolts, firebolts, are away and done. 1 frag grenade left. They may be turning their eyes on a different part of the site here, Chaos. You can reverse repel all day, but you need to be on the site somewhere. All smokes have been used up. Maestro of Qual will find the kill, secretly eliminated. And Renewals is coming in, pushing with the Red Groove. We'll find Bibu. Comes in, needs to pick up the diffuser. There's still 1 second left. Go, put it down. Fires right into the Maestro. Stiggy is right below. Red Groove will find Qual. And the Nitro Cell from below, Stiggy! Oh man, that was exactly what was needed there, and Siggy did not need to move the entire round. So it was not really pushed at all by Chaos.
No, they were too busy focusing on the site because, well, they needed to get that going, and losing the diffuser for as long as they did because of Vitalin's death definitely did not help. I mean, they almost might want to consider just leaving the diffuser on the roof, because otherwise they risk the potential of losing it due to that, but it's it's good on Vitality to have that extra intel of the pulse, because I feel like they had a much better timing on their aggression that round, and that's the thing is, this map in particular, I noticed there's a lot of teams, if you can play your kind of fluid roam and aggression smartly, and not overextend yourself into positions where you just end up getting picked without trades, you can end up really rebuffing a lot of the attack that usually spends a lot of time outside, as I was mentioning earlier. Because of that, they start burning off a lot of time. If they don't have a ton of utility to get rid of you, especially if you're like Bibu and able to hold the top of the yellow stairs as successfully as you are, those things combined definitely led to a successful round, although it was actually surprisingly close in terms of getting that plant down there. Red Groove doing some great work at 6. Crips just being a bit more of the support on the Lion. Definitely doing a little bit of work, just not seeing it necessarily in terms of kills. We will see Lobby again here, so they will go try that one more time here. That, of course, is winning their 2 other bomb sites. They're not going to go to Teller's Archives, which, you know, a lot of teams don't necessarily want to go to that unless they have to. It is an okay site, but not the greatest site. It is kind of an alternative one you can try and play. But we mostly saw it played more so when it was brand new. Definitely a lot less now. They are going to be bringing the castle to slow things down, along with that mirror to defend into admin this time. Hatch open as well, so a little bit of utility setup. There we go. Interesting, all the holes in the floor. Thanks for highlighting that, Marcio.
You need to open up as many of those holes as humanly possible. Just turn this entire site upside down, because you're going to be fighting your opponents from above. You're going to be fighting them from below. And every advantage you can give yourself is huge. What's curious is that Vitality did not bring a pulse for this one, even though it's on the table.
I still think that was a good choice last round, but the thing they're bringing different is the Echo.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the big delay attempt there. It's always funny to see Vitality bringing Echo instead of banning it.
Yeah, that's so curious when they banned out the music. Like, wow,
all right.
I guess my position here as a commentator is done.
Well, I mean, I hope you weren't putting money on operator bans. not the wisest of investments, unless you're putting it mostly on Echo and Mira. Then I suppose it's easy money.
Well, that's what you usually do. That's what I did. I put it on Echo.
That's fine. You only lost for this one time. I'm sure you'll win next match. Secretly, though, trying to push in. They're trying to get aggressive again early. Secretly, that seems to be his job, being kind of the entry frag or being in good flank positions to help soften up for entry frag. But he actually gets caught out early by a smoke that gets to do a lot of damage. Breday doing a great job defending Tellers as if it were the bomb site.
That smoke was literally thrown right into the Buck's face.
He pretty much opened his mouth to catch it like a piece of popcorn.
Smacked his face. It
Yeah.
reminds me of the spy meme from TF2 that has all the cigarettes in his mouth.
Yeah,
It's hilarious.
he's got a fat lip now.
Mental
Ibu, though, giving Vittlin a fat lip. That's again the defeat.
Oh, what?
Trades it off. There we go.
What?
Lion EE1D not effective. Savingly, secretly, maybe not the first to go this time, but it's very similar looking to last round.
Bibu unzoomed on the 416. He's like, I give up. There's no way I can win this. And he still does it.
The drop shot, too, on it. In a way. Shoots, then drops, but...
Red Groove close on up here to the spiral staircase, but Bibu's close up next to him. Oh my... Ugh.
Easy win.
Here you go. Bibu with yet another one. A triple kill. He's going to find the ace. At least we're hoping that Vitality is going to give him all of this. There's one on the site. Bride will find it.
No ace.
No ace possible. Squall find the last one on renewals as well with the Mira. Bibu again softening things up and allowing for a flawless round from Vitality.
I mean, this is quite the comeback from Vitality, but it is all on Bibu. I mean, the rest of the team, I got to imagine, feeding him information, things like that. It's not literally all on him, but he is doing so much work to bring this back for Vitality and actually give them the lead now for once. They're going to go back down to Garage, something they've won once and lost once. So far, they've won, well, most of their sites and lost. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I got that right. Console's the only one that they haven't lost because they only played it once. The other 2 sites, they have won once and lost once. Crips actually finally going to get off the line, deciding the EE1Ds were not very effective anymore, as Bibu was just timing his plays perfectly to not really be affected by them so much. And Bibu instead going to go with the Mozzie, which again, I think is smart. Deny their drones as much as possible, then you can play a little more fast and loose and stop them from shutting you down with any kind of coordinated flanks. So it's up to Crips then to be a little more aggressive, because he's going to have to help Secretly in those entries, because Secretly is just not doing that great. And Vittlin dying early, being a hard breach with the defuse carry, he definitely should not be dying as early as he has been the last 2 rounds in a row, and that's definitely not helping. To be fair, though, Vidalin has picked up some kills himself, so he's not being useless with his gun, but losing fights early that he shouldn't even be in is not the position for Thermite, which, again, the Thermite shouldn't even be being brought most of the time when Garage is not available, because they've known most of the time when it's not going to be in play, yet continue to bring the Thermite. It's like there are definitely uses for Hibana that there is not for Thermite. I've heard. I think it's just an ultimate frisbee because you get to shoot 6 at once, but I don't know.
Fidget spinners.
That's right.
Do people still use fidget spinners, or were they like a very 2017 thing?
You know, I got to imagine that they've gone underground now. You know.
Only cool people play with fidget spinners now.
Yeah, I know. The first rule of Fidget Spinner Club is
don't talk about fidget spinners.
You already broke it.
Man, not again. Well, guess I'm just bad at keeping secrets. So are they.
And they're bad at keeping secretly alive. That was terrible. Anyways.
People will find a kill on secretly. There you go. Oh, man, telegraphed.
Thanks for
Kevin.
for that one, Bibu.
All of Pro League is just all pre-recorded. That's what I've heard. Renewals on the reverse rappel. He's going to have to find at least some way to take down Bibu. It's just been impossible to find this man. He's going to keep sticking down to the bottom, and will steal the drone.
That's going to help him out right there. It should make it a lot easier to spot, especially yellow stairs if he wants to, and help Spark out. Looks like, though, he's going to be looking for... Oh, there is someone outside that window, too. But he's helping protect himself from both the yellow stairs and the bathroom windows, and it doesn't work. Renewals catches him while he's on the drone. Well played, but secretly, again, dead early is not the play.
It's so weird to say that the attacker catches the defender on the drone.
Right? Usually can only say that about Echo.
All right, well, Spark turning around here. Oh, man, he spots one player up in console chambers. Not sure who it was. I believe it's the... Is it the Thatcher upstairs, Redgrove? Yes, it is. So, Spark to continue to peek up here from the yellow stairs. He can give himself a huge advantage, but just continuing to pre-fire it, but Redgrove turning around and takes one bullet to the body, but it's all that is required.
Finally, man, advantage for Chaos, but they've burned 2 minutes in this process and lost the frag grenades. So again, Vidalin not going to be on the most useful operator outside of opening the wall, which I imagine they've probably done by now. So now we can finally get in gunfights if they have.
Siggy on the top floor here. We've seen the rotations like this do so much work. We even saw it in game number 1 of the evening. Pre-fire from the Maestro, but we'll just keep tapping away. Nobody really locking down at the opposite end of his rifle. Qual will fire in, but can't find the kill. It's Stiggy to find one on Crips and then drops all the way back down. At least to the ground floor. So 3v3. Chaos don't have a ton of time. Renewals, though, finds the entry that they require to break the stalemate at this point in the round. Bride watching out for his opponent. Squall will have to come in and just try and save the day. But Vidalin, successful from Chaos. They dive on in and go for the plant all the way in the back. And that's going to be the plant in the kitchen. Well done for Chaos. Squall will dive right through the hatch. He'll fire down and actually take down Renewals, but now he's so low on HP. Vidalin will try to turn around the angle here just by the doorway, but he's just sitting close to the chassis on A. Qual will pad his stats for just one more kill. He spots the legs of the Thermite on the floor, but Vidalin swings around and whips him so well. Qual going down. We saw it getting fired upon from behind. Oh, the one tap as he just barely ADS's. Just so low on HP at that point. There's not much that you can do, but the angles were just not favorable at all. And a tie at the half. Man.
I mean, that definitely wasn't the worst round for Vitality. The early kill and the secretly definitely helped. But then Bibu dying to Renewals, that's really where the round started to go downhill a bit, because losing Bibu, of course, he's been the biggest impact on Vitality. But not only that, you lost the Mozzie then at that point, who could have been very useful on those drones. Secretly going to be the one to pull out the pulse, as they have now switched sides. Bride, instead of bringing the Thermite, they have the Hibana, like we were talking about. They're going to bring the Capitao off the 6th pick there instead of and just tease out the double hard breacher. But we will have a Mozzie and a Pulse, and I think that's a good combo there for Chaos, along with the extra intel coming out from Vidalin on the Maestro. So overall, a good set of utility on the defense to be able to help slow things down. Just Crips is going to have to make sure he's useful on Doc.
What I really liked in the previous round is how Chaos realized that they were in a tough spot. It's 2v2 and there's Evil Eyes and everything locking them down, and a Bandit that was going to turn around the corner in yellow. They went and rushed into kitchen for a plant. That was on the moment, smart decision making, and really what saved the entire round for them.
Literally, they had to plant the last second too.
Yeah.
So absolutely, I don't think they would have made it work in Garage.
Definitely so. So very good from Chaos. This is a completely different Chaos again to what we, for what a lot of people were watching in Seasons 8 and at most of Season 9. At least by the end of it, Chaos were definitely a contender. And now they've definitely cemented themselves after the Vegas Minor that they're here and they're going to continue to show some great plays and good decision making in the right moment. And that's exactly what we had in the previous round. But now, it's Vitality on the attacking side at the half. Let me say, that pick of the Gridlock has been so effective. She just brings so much to the table, doesn't she?
Yeah, and some people are better at the gun than others, especially like players like Uno, very strong on that particular operator. So if you can frag out decent with it and you have good coordination to be able to make it towards the end of the round, or at least far enough in to be able to get those track stingers set up, it can be very strong. Unfortunately, Cripps getting spotted there. It's going to make things a little bit harder for him, but I think it is definitely an operator that we weren't necessarily 100% sure was going to get a ton of play, but both Mozzie and Gridlock getting a ton of play, as well as Nomad and Kaid. So the last two seasons of operators seem to be fitting in very well in Pro League as soon as they're allowed. I don't know if we'll see the same thing from Nock and Warden necessarily. That might be a little bit more odd picks, but you never know what the meta will be because there will be, I'm sure, changes before then.
It only makes sense. Nook, I mean, she's kind of hit or miss when it comes to a lot of the ideas that have been thrown around here. For Chaos, they're just going to enjoy the music so far, but secretly goes in for a run out. He gets spotted, and he's still alive, actually. Rotates back down to the site. Oh, well done from Cripps. He'll heal himself. Actually deny Vitality the rush into Piano for the plant. Reloads his medical device and cannot find the second. Qual taking him away. Reynolds with a refrag onto Stiggy. A 2v3 is secretly with an Nitro Cell left in hand, but Spark is doing work with the tracks, throwing them right out in the open. Utility being used by the Zofia, but there's nobody being stunned. Secretly just watching for potential plays. Reynolds will find the head of Qual, but Spark taking away secretly. Your flank is entirely open now. Reynolds might not know what's around the corner. He spots one, but Bibu, too fast for you. The SMG-11 takes him out.
Again, not starting up in console. Interesting choice, but it worked out for the attackers that round. Great push into Piano, good aggression there, but also winning a lot of their fights. Fortunately for the Doc of Cripps, he was caught off guard. Zofia had spotted him on those yellow cells early and was well prepared for that rotate back up. They were a little bit stacked up trying to fight the Piano as well. They just didn't have enough of a setup from above even to try and control it. They weren't controlling console either to be able to put pressure downwards. It just, that lack of pressure really paid off because you had such a heavy push by Vitality to take advantage of it. And then even the Gridlock track stingers to really stop them from being able to rotate in and take control. Even if they were able to win those gunfights, it was going to be a little bit difficult. So angles then working out in favor of Team Vitality. So good initial play from them. Again, taking the lead. After a strong 2-round start by Chaos, Vitality seemed to be able to keep getting this lead here. We'll see, though, if Chaos can catch it back up, because it is still seemingly mostly on the backs of Bibu, but Qual definitely showing his worth, and Stiggy actually doing better than Spark and Brede in terms of kills, at least. So looking pretty good for most of Vitality to try and step it up a little bit and take some weight off Bibu's shoulders. They are, again, going with the Habana instead of the Thermite, although this is on the bomb site where Thermite makes a bit more sense here on Garage. That being said, you don't necessarily need him. You still can make the play with Habana and even open a hatch if you want.
Definitely so. Chaos's big play is to bring the car. I'm not so sure about the Tila, but it's much more difficult to spot it. So, because you know that Vitality, at least in just a bit, you'll be knowing that there's no Thatcher. It's okay. I mean, in the beginning, you didn't. That would be a bit cheating. Imagine. Maybe they E6. Well, you weren't really sure.
You never know.
You never know. Always have to be sure. We'll see. This will be very interesting.
Well, the big question is, All right.
What is it?
I don't even know. That is the big question. Spark already taking control of admin here. Qual backing him up on that as well in terms of trying to take console side. So they are definitely trying to take a lot of top floor quickly, even though the site is garage. But there has been a bit of utility committed to upstairs with the castle barricades and whatnot to try and slow this down. However, they have enough soft destruction with both the Zofia and the Sledge to make short work of those castle barricades, and it's not a huge deal. Heck, even if they had to, they could use Habana X Kairos to do that, but pushback here coming in pretty heavy across long desk.
Secretly turning around will save the day here, but Spark and Babu have already gotten a kill each. Grips and Red Groove are down and out. Spark solo on HP here on the gridlock. Vitality realizing that there's very difficult possibility of them opening things up to enter from garage. They come on in and they fight Chaos mano a mano. And that's a great shot to take away secretly, as he was a bit too greedy in that spot.
Well, still man advantage here for Vitality. As you said, secretly getting killed, at least not at the very beginning necessarily. Well, I mean, it was, but it wasn't. Spark low on health as well, though at least he has a 3 armor. There you see already some of those track stingers set up. That's the first set. He's got 2 sets left, doing some buck work from above as well. With all these operators between a Gridlock and Jackal with the shotguns now, it's like Buck is maybe even not as necessary. Although in this case the Sledge is dead, so it is nice to have that redundancy there. And oh, battery's starting to get taken out, but or sorry, the Electric Claws rather.
Electric Claws.
I'm not gonna try and say the
Tila. It just
Electric Claws is easier.
It's just a spider basically.
Oh, spider, yeah.
No, firing down from above. It's Qual, and Spark will finish off Renault's. That's a triple kill for him in the round. The F90 definitely doing work in this one. You can run the 249 or the F90. Both work out. Vitality. Qual will find the last one of Vitaline right on the cross in the back hallway. All done by the bottom bathroom, and bye-bye. Nice reset.
Vitality definitely showing some strength. It was that slow start those first 2 rounds, but it seems like that was just their warm-up. They've definitely been on somewhat of a tear since then, already close to that match point. I think Vitality showed that they were ready for this season the minute they nearly tied with Empire previously in their match, and that was such a strong start for this team. A team that had gotten relegated out, had to work their way back through Challenger League. Such is becoming a common story, thankfully. I'm glad to see that it's not just teams falling into the abyss once they get relegated to Challenger League. I mean, even some of the just random collections of pros end up on teams like Sonics and make their way back eventually. So it is, you know, it's a test of their mettle, whether or not they can come all the way back. And Team Secret rather gets a second chance to do that. So,
yeah.
So nice to have that, right?
A bit sad that they can't go and defend their championship at DreamHack Valencia this time, but they're already qualified for the Raleigh Major. So there's a high chance that we see Hobie in those Team Secret tights again. And I told him, I want one of those tights.
Well, it's the secret because you squeeze those legs and put the blood all the way back up to your brain.
Yep. And, honestly, what do you think if I actually got Secret and Hobie to get me one of those to wear?
I think I would be very cautious in finding out what you're wearing before I show up for work.
Okay. Let us know in chat what you would think about that, by the way.
What is this, a YouTube?
Yes.
Let me know down in the chat what you think of these tights.
It's your boy, Milo. What's up? Hello. How are you doing today?
You're gonna have a whole stream with you in tights this morning.
I have all those Hobie gifs and videos saved.
Can this be against Twitch's terms of service, please?
Okay, we're not making any rules here.
Well, we're having an interesting change up here in Chaos in terms of them bringing the first alibi we've seen today. So that's definitely going to lead to a little bit more roaming going on. And that's going to depend on Vitality's droning. Vitality are a team who are notoriously very good at droning for their executes, and so far that's been bearing out very well. And Chaos aren't bringing a whole lot to deny that. Again, the mute is banned, and Mozzie not being brought out every round, so...
But this is still Chaos on a server defense. This is something that between them and the olden days Millennium were able to, and even Team Secret back in the day, were able to kind of revolutionize the site the instant it got brought in because of the way they played it. And Renault's really showed everybody how to run the alibi on this site because it allows you to use all of this small bit of cover that's poking out here and there to your advantage. A lot of teams will just pre-fire into it. You're not really sure about it, but because it was done in the past, you'd expect Vitality to have all of that on lock and under control, and pressuring the top definitely helps out. Stiggy's already in, and admin office will be vacated by the defense.
Spark just kind of hanging out towards spawn, watching the door, though. It seems like maybe a bit of a waste, as he's been able to get some kills with his gun as well. But who knows, maybe that will pay off towards the end. They're just concerned about any rotates and cutting those off as much as possible. There is the IQ for Bidet, and that will definitely help in spotting the Echo drone, because the Echo is definitely very effective at helping in this particular site defense, because you can hang out down in servers, down in the basement area. So you can be defending both sites kind of at once, which is difficult, of course, because you can't rotate up very quickly. Necessarily, but renewals, you talk about that alibi play, and that is definitely going to be very effective against Qual. He's going to be able to rotate a little bit, but Crips actually to find the next kill onto Bibu. So again, Bibu going down early is a bit of trouble here for Vitality.
Spark firing into the back here of the site with the F90. It actually spots the legs here of Red Groove, but Crips again just tapping away the UMP. It's not really applauded for being a great gun, but man, when you hit the headshots, it definitely is satisfying. Brede will find one onto Vitaline, limiting the Echo that really has not been able to do much so far in the matchup. So maybe a Pulse would be something that we'll be seeing in the future. Brede, taking damage, but then the pre-fire from his own teammate is Stiggy drops to the floor, gets forced to unzoom with the Habana. That's how it's all done. Chaos effective on the site that really they are most effective on, in my opinion.
Well, I was talking earlier about that not being a very preferable bomb site anymore, but if it's a good pocket strat that you have that works very well, why not bring it as your third bomb site? Because then, of course, you still have console to be able to be played, but both these teams really not preferring console. It was only played once by Vitality on their defense, and so far not at all for Chaos. It's interesting to see. Maybe some of that due to the effectiveness of the old upside down repel at the moment, feeding into that also. But it's interesting to see, because it's still such a dominant one. When we saw Consulate earlier, it was still the dominating bomb site. So you're really going to sneak onto Jaeger. Not something you usually really need to sneak onto with a 6-pick, but they are going to be looking out for those goo mines regardless that just don't exist anymore. Red Groove going to be bringing out that Mozzie, though, again, to help try and deny some of that drone play, as well as, of course, enjoying his good kit that he has overall.
So, how do Chaos play this one around? Again, yeah, sure, you mentioned the Mozzie. Now, what we've seen in our first matchup with Pentelo's team is a lot of dedication for Mozzie onto the basement garage. Throughout the rounds, you can use him later on with the Nitro cells, but also for denying your opponents from even entering the site. However, Vitality have not been taking that route into yellow that often.
Yeah, and the problem, of course, is with the Nitro cells, you don't have a Pulse, and you don't have a Valkyrie for the Black Eyes, because, of course, she was banned. So it's going to be difficult to time that Nitro cell properly, because you don't have any intel on people being upstairs above you, and at least in specific positions outside of holes being opened in the floor. So it does become tricky. You can get callouts. There can be things like default cams, and there are Maestro Evil Eyes. Again, we're seeing Spark continue to do the same strategy of trying to stop runouts on the balcony by throwing up those track stingers early up onto there. So that is an interesting strategy. I'm not sure that that's doing a ton tonight. Thank you, Marcio, for showing exactly what I'm talking about there. It looks like one of them didn't deploy completely, but that's not quite as effective as a Claymore, I think. So I'm not sure I really think that's the best use of them, but hey, if you have a spare one, why not?
Why not? Already here, one ADS being burned away slowly. Qual will drone in and spot that there's one player up by the top of the yellow stairs. When does the play actually happen on top of this? Just Vitality taking their time with the drone play, but the Dock of Crips is all on his own in yellow, so there is support, but it's a bit further away, and it's closer towards the admin area. Grenade will be thrown in the back to deal with the Maestro camera, and should be well timed here by Bibu. Very well done. Just taking a bit of damage from the Maestro before losing the ever so crucial Evil Eye.
Yeah, definitely not great, because like I said, the only intel they have is that one and the other one. Unless Mozzie catches some drones. We'll see, though. He has all of his pests deployed at least. But he's got to be cautious knowing that there's those track stingers out on the balcony. Can't just go for an easy jump out without being punished. But again, those aren't going to kill you necessarily. However, speaking of killing, there goes the sledge.
Vitalik just spraying on in to destroy the TRX, the tracks that are on the flight, on the flights of stairs, at least the 2 bits of stairs there. Sledge will be exchanged for the Jaeger, so pretty good trade here for both teams as Chaos kind of end up having the broad benefit of it. But they will find Vitaly, and so Vitality grab a pretty big advantage. The Maestro eliminated, there's nobody to play close by the bathroom. Redgroove is right on close by the Zofia, and the instant a drone is thrown in, it should be able to spot it, but no, the drone is coming in from behind. Nitro Cell thrown into the back, and the Zofia is now... What?
Gets away with it.
What happened?
You know, it happened. Didn't even destroy most of the
No,
tracks.
nothing. Literally nothing happened. Did it hit the railing?
It was a dud. Crypso with the kill in the meantime on Stiggy. Vitality in the driver's seat. Again, the kill on the Redgroove now. Vitality looking to put this on match point, and Crips last to fight this. Long angles aren't going to do you any good when you get flanked by Brede. And now, match point for Vitality. Chaos, the favored team here going into this. Vitality just running around, circles around them at this point. 6-3, double their score, and now Chaos cannot win. So coming off their victory against G2, now they're really actually hitting a struggle. I don't know what happened to C4. I know you're still thinking about it this point.
Yeah, I'm like, what happened there?
It didn't kill.
I think it went too far and hit the railing.
Probably. I mean, it's hard
on the
to
balcony.
say. I mean, it didn't.
If only I had a replay system.
Yeah, we couldn't see it from the angle it was at necessarily to be able to tell, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Garage, we will go again.
So, well, a bit of a reminder for everybody out there. Vitality have won 1 match against Na'Vi. That was last week, exactly a week ago on June 21st. That was 7-3. So far, they're leading things 6-4. They're a round away from victory. They put up 1 point on the board. If they win this matchup, they give themselves 6 points, and they will be tied with Na'Vi in total, at least until Na'Vi plays the game against Mouse.
I mean, that's good. You know, both of those coming out of Challenger League to be tied with each other.
You know what it means? G2, by that point, would dip down to position 5 with only 4 points so far.
G2 relegated when?
I'm sure there's copy pasta out there for it.
It's gotta be, yeah.
I don't want to say it myself.
So, yeah, definitely not looking great for them as after the match earlier, but Vitality at least showing that they came in here for a reason, and Chaos still having a good fight on their hands here. Obviously, this isn't over yet, but a guaranteed tie at the very least for Vitality is still really good for them, getting that 1 point guaranteed. Just keeping themselves far from the bottom of that leaderboard is the way to go, and BB, as you can see from the score, still a big part of that here, but the rest of the team's starting to show up, definitely helping as well. A lot of these rounds, it seemed like, at least on defense, it was mostly the Bibu show, but on attack, a little bit of a different story. A lot of the rest of the players showing up pretty well. In fact, Bibu sometimes the one to die early.
We've been seeing Spark and Brede really show up in the second half of this map here, as the attacking side has definitely been very impressive from Vitality. Redgroove on the Legion here, close up, and
they know.
He knows exactly
You
what's
saw, yeah, you saw that ping.
Yep. Well, Spark will use the power of the Super Shorty to open up a bit of the wall here from the admin office. A stun into the side as Spark is unsure of where his opponent is close up, or whether he is close up or not. So Redgroove is still just feeling the effects. Castle Barricade will be eliminated, as now they're expecting, Vitality that is, to push Redgroove back. However, he doubles down. The Legion knows that he can't do much in this situation. He can vault away, and he has support in the back.
Drops hatch instead.
It's very simple. Burn out the time. Something Vitality that in the past they didn't know how to manage correctly. So you can still exploit that in this day.
Now, they did expend quite a bit of utility, though, trying to take that top floor. There we go. A nice kill there onto Spark. That is definitely important. That's going to give them a lot more flank opportunity later, especially when followed up onto Stiggy there. Looking like we could see a game on our hands of potential draw if they keep this up.
Oh, push in from Secretly. Does so much damage to Bibu, but keeping the Frenchman alive. That's really the big deal for Vitality. Will get reset. And will be revived to 20 HP. At least. I hope he didn't step into a goo mine, and that's why he's dropped.
Entirely possible.
Probably did. Yep. So that's probably what happened. You're going to have Qual run down the stairs first and not Bibu.
Legion reset him.
Thank you, Legion. That's something that... Okay.
Little miscommunication there, and it leads to his death.
Red Groove, beautiful play. Vidalin as well into Bride. And it's all Qual alone. He's got one impact lifeline, but there's a smoke as well to block his line of sight into the bathroom. Red Groove falling back and pre-firing into him. The Zofia dropping to the floor, and Chaos securing round 11. Red Groove just delayed so much time.
Yeah. Bibu running towards that breach charge gave me flashbacks of Consulate many moons ago when he just ran into the Thermite's breach and died on his due to a team kill from that.
I remember that.
That was down in Garage.
Invitational.
It was
Invitational
so good.
2018. Oh, man.
It just definitely reminds me of that. We're
Brings
going to
back
try
memories.
Tillers again. Yeah. See if Tellers is the play here to try and bring this tie. Frost as well, got to be a 6-pick tease here unless you're trying to hide a different 6-pick. Some teams will do that where you bring something that should obviously be a 6-pick or 6-picked off to try and cover up another 6-pick, but no, it's going to be the alibi yet again. Something you mentioned was very effective, and we saw that demonstration of that in the previous round on this bomb site. A bomb site that Vitality did not bring, and we just rarely see altogether, but one that was effective for Chaos last time. Obviously, a lot on the line to do it here. I mean, 2 points really on the line in terms of the difference between Vitality getting a 3 or a 1, and whether or not Chaos gets a 1 or a 0. So, Red Groove definitely doing some work for his team, but we saw also another player at 9. Just Red Groove, the first one, hit double digits, but like you said, the amount of time he burned last time wasn't just kills, just delaying huge amounts of time, forcing them to commit so much utility upstairs just to not even come out with a single kill out of it. That was the way to play it, definitely. Maybe they're going to go for something similar this time. Last time they played very well from inside the tellers as well in just denying Visa, and I think that was a big help. I got to imagine that's going to be read into a little bit better by Vitality this time, but a lot of it's going to come down to good utility usage, I think, by Vitality in terms of getting players from Chaos out of the positions so they can set up for the actual execute so that they're not doing it last second.
Spark along the outside, and Vitality don't want to run into a conundrum early on.
A conundrum.
They want to make sure that Chaos don't get the ability to peek them early on in the round and grabbing 1 or 2 free kills initially, and that's something that, of course, will weigh heavily on you. Vitality are looking to secure 3 points at the end of the day and not give Chaos a single point at the end of it. So these two, I can already tell throughout this this season will be big rivals.
Yeah.
In terms of points in their standings in Pro League. Vitality have the first minute of the round burned away. Renaults again on his alibi.
Well, definitely secretly looking to burn as much time as possible and not be the early one to deny, but unfortunately he is droned, and there also went the mirror window.
Bibu with a great grenade onto Renaults, knowing exactly where he's at, was droning for himself. Held the grenade as the drone came back in to confirm the location. And now that's a great entry for Vitality. Vitaline will have to walk on up, at least put himself in a better position by the server stairs. And Bibu grabbing even more info on Secretly. Forcing one smoke to come out, actually. Bibu and Vitality, the entirety of the squad will have to walk on in at some point. There's still one grenade available, so I'm expecting Bibu to use that at some point in time. Spark and Bride, beautiful shots. Bride on the rappel. This is so well done, realizing that that's really the weakest part of Vitality's offense. Red Groove connects onto Qual. It's a 4v2 and a big advantage for the Frenchman.
Definitely much better droning coming out this time, and great picks here on Chaos. Huge man advantage here, 4-2. Still plenty of time left to play with, as well as C4 missing there from Red Groove also means a lot less plant denial. This is a really good position. Red Groove trying to channel Alfalma. I don't think it's going to work out for him, but certainly going to give it a shot.
He's already made so much noise, and the tracks are going to make it so much more difficult. Oh, Bride, what a shot, covering the only angle available. And for the second one as well, 3K for Bride in the round on the IQ. Vitality secure round number 12, and they make it out with 3 points. actually puts them pretty far ahead of the competition at 6 points in total. What a close game.
Definitely a good one there. Vitality showing some serious strength and showing that when the drones are allowed to do their thing, it definitely helps them quite a bit. And I think that is part of the reason you saw the mute ban. But Mozzie didn't get as much play, I think, as he could have in terms of helping to deny that.
Look at Bibu, 15-8. This is classic Bibu on one of his strongest, if not his strongest map.
And Bibu's the one who had left the team just prior to them getting relegated down.
He didn't feel that he was really in the right moment. And of course, we had a couple player changes. The entire team was kind of reformed from scratch, and that's where Bibu had to come again. We knew that he couldn't stay too far.
Couldn't stay away.
No.
So, well, hopefully you'll get a chance to do an interview with him and his dad here in a moment. We'll see who it's going to be, but congratulations to Vitality, though, because that was a well-fought battle. Chaos definitely have been strong this season so far, so definitely something that shows Vitality were playing very well. Like I said, again, seeing that early on with the Empire match, they played very well in as well. So Vitality, much like Secret, coming swinging out of Challenger League with a very strong play. Maybe not as dominant as Secret was when they first came out, but I guess they couldn't hold on to that dominance.
Well, one thing I want to specify is that if you enjoyed this matchup, you're in luck, ladies and gentlemen. Vitality and Chaos are playing next week on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll see if they actually make it through to Sunday at DreamHack Valencia.
Yeah.
So live the minor, both teams are in the competition to try and qualify for the Raleigh Major. So it's up in the air who will. It's possible that we might see them playing at some point in time. As Chaos are playing in Group A with Penta and Father's Back, a Japanese team actually that's coming in to play. And we have another team from APAC as well. That's Cloud9 in Group D with both Vitality and FaZe Clan.
Should be interesting.
Very true. Want to see how Cloud9 actually performs in that, but I'm also curious to see how Vitality perform internationally now.
Yeah.
Because I think if we go back in their history, Vitality definitely have a lot to show in international play.
I think they found a decent lineup. I want to see whether or not Stiggy ends up being permanent or what they're going to do about that 5th spot. But I think he did okay today, and the team overall did okay. So if he happens to be the one to stick around, I think that's fine in terms of the team. We'll see if he gels a little bit better. He did have the one team kill, for example, where he struggled a bit. But, it's when he hasn't played with the team as well, you don't know their movement as well. When you've played with someone for as long as Spark Bidet and Bibu have played together. So it's going to take some time to kind of shake that up. But Qual seems to be doing a great job as well on that team. So it seems to be working out. Yeah. Maybe in some ways even better than Vitality was previous to their getting relegated.
I believe so.
So
this is probably the best Vitality we've ever had. And it's because, back in the day, they fell to relegations in Challenger League because everybody got better than them.
Yeah.
Because they kind of fell back and were playing in their own mind and play style. Yeah, they were very stuck in it. And to unstick yourself from it, sometimes you have to make changes. Vitality definitely made the correct changes, and here they are. I mean,
yeah. And those 3 guys that are kind of the core come from Xbox days when Vitality was actually a very strong team on Xbox as well. So they've got a long history in this game, even if it wasn't always on PC. And so they definitely have been around, and I'm glad to see that, again, that they didn't get stopped by getting down to Challenger League, because it looks like there's a good chance they stay out of getting relegated this season the way they've been playing.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have our interview, so let's put up Bibu.
Hello, guys.
Bonsoir, Bastien. How are you this evening?
I'm good, and you?
It was pretty good so far. I mean, we've had pretty exciting matches, and your match against Chaos was very, very close. We were expecting it to go the distance in the 7-5. It was definitely a hard-fought battle. Now, looking back at this, what really seemed to be the most difficult thing for you as Vitality to deal with from Chaos and what they were bringing?
We know that Chaos is a very good team. They proved it in the first play days. And even in Las Vegas, we played them. They 7-0 us. And so we need to take our revenge. So we work hard on their play style. We know that they love play duels, like gunfights. They are very good in gunfights. So we say, guys, just be more confident than them and play our game style, focus, and it will be okay. And it works, so it's okay. We're happy.
I think a big question on a lot of people's minds is, why was Stiggy playing today instead of anybody else, really? Is this a tryout or?
We play with Stiggy since maybe 2 or 3 days.
Yep.
Because Sneaky is not available to play now. So we are now in communication in English. So it's a little bit hard at the beginning, but we did pretty well, and we win our first match with him. So we are happy, and Stiggy is happy too for his first match in Pro League.
It's not too bad.
All good.
Well, all good, but you guys were playing extremely well, specifically yourself, Bibu. There's a lot of rounds where you were playing, Mozzie or any other operator, and you were putting a lot of frags on the board. You ended up with 15-8 at the end. How was the communication between yourself and everybody on the team to allow you, and I want to say specifically on your defensive rounds, to go out and find secretly in renewals pretty much every single round on your runouts?
We know them extremely well. We practiced them like 2 weeks ago. So I was okay. They maybe changed some things, but they changed not a lot of things. So I know that winners were playing the main, so I can pick him was because he's solo, and they want to play Qual was bandit tricking the garage, so I take the risk to pick the buck and I kill him. But all the info of my mates was good. They tell me how to pick and when, so I trust them, and it was perfect.
And because you were playing the Mozzie, how many times do you remember that you were able to capture drones to use in the round? Because we haven't really been able to see that much of it from a direct POV.
I'm sure that I capture one because it was in the defense in toilets. But I don't think I capture a lot of drones, but it was just a lot of deny of droning. Yeah. They can't destroy my pests without coming in building, so I was pretty safe in my toilets.
Staying in there and relaxing. It's at home. You feel at home on Consulate, especially when you can feel happy in the toilet. I think that's something we can all agree on. But Bastien, anything you'd like to say to all the fans out there, specifically since Vitality, you and the entire team are going to DreamHack Valencia next week for Fight in Minors.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to all the supporters, all the staff, because we have hard days since Sneaky is not available to play. Thanks to all my mates who are just doing an amazing job with the English communication. They try to be the most available possible to help Stiggy to be in a good conditions. And thanks to all the fans, thanks to Vitality, and see you for a next match at DreamHack Valencia.
Thank you very much, Bibu. We'll see how your run turns out there. You're in the run for qualification at the Raleigh Major yet again, as we saw you in Vegas. Congratulations on your victory against Chaos, a 7-5, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.